sure thing. How's you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. What are you up to?
I've been collaborating with some muso friends in London, and I'm remixing some of my old music from back in the day. And I'm also playing with this video. It's got something I like about it. I haven't worked out what it is yet. Do you like my tunes?
Oh yeah, it sounds good. But do you think it's art?
Yeah, good question. In my opinion, good art makes you think or feel something, and it's also relevant to the present time. So in this case, yes, but not always.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting. So what about your snapshots? Was it observational photography? Would you consider them to be art?
Are you talking about the photographs of David doing his Wing Chun, or the funny moment pics?
David doing his Wing Chun and the street art stuff.
Yeah, okay. I photographed David because I think he's beautiful and sexy, and I love to photograph him, but I wouldn't consider the resulting pictures to be anything more than beautiful. The funny little pics are just that, they're funny little moments. Oh babe, I haven't got any milk, but I do have vodka or wine.
Ooh, wine for me, please. So what about the way you use so many different materials in your work?
There's a few reasons for that. One, I like to use anything that's available, and I want it to try and tell the story, because with me, I really want my work to say something. And I also get bored really quickly, so I swap and change all the time.
So do you want me to put these new tunes into the background of the pictures?
Yeah, it's not finished, but what do you think? I wrote it as a poem, and then I've worked with a few friends to sample and add the beats.
Yeah, I think it's alright. I prefer your other work, like the dolls that we just saw. What's the story behind those?
The obvious reference is The Kiss by Rodin. Everyone knows The Kiss. But Cornelia Parker remade it, and she bound the lovers together with string. She said that the reason for that was it represents the force of their love. But for me, that is not what love is about. I was with Chris for 30 years and I never felt bound to him. It was more entwined, which is exactly what the process of knitting is. So I knitted a mini me and a mini Chris.
I think the image has loads of emotion in it, definitely.
I know, weird, isn't it? The image is more emotive than the actual dolls.
Oh, why?
Cheers, babe.
Cheers. So, where were we?
What is art? I always think of Bruce Norman's Brilliant Neons when I'm asked this question. I guess art for me is a cross between what he says, Boris Groys, Lawrence Weiner, and obviously Bruce Norman. Now, being an artist is another question in itself, and Michael Craig Martin wrote a really good book of a similar name called How to Be an Artist.
So what did they say?
Well, Boris Groys said that the highest duty of art is to grasp and articulate their own time. Bruce Norman did a brilliant neon which said the true artist helps the world by revealing mystic truths. And Lawrence Weiner and Jenny Holzer work in all sorts of places, and both of them make art that engages with as many different types of people as possible. Weiner is also famous for saying that art should not just mess up a person's day, it should fuck up their whole life. One of the things that I love about Lawrence Weiner and Jenny Holzer is that their art goes anywhere, and then people can graffiti over it, it becomes archaeology, and it morphs and changes. I find it very inspiring.
So which pieces of your work do you consider to be art then? Is it the paintings?
Paintings, yes, but they are mainly experiments or obvious one-liners.
So they look like a series, are they?
Yes and no. I use the boards because I'm so prolific and because they are small and easy to store, which makes them look like a series, but it's really more for storage purposes. But saying that, I have been looking at Joseph Alber's colour theories in conjunction with Michael Craig Martin's style, which probably also makes them look like a series.
Yeah, and you're using text a lot in lots of them, aren't you?
Yeah, like I said, I like to explore and mix materials. I love to see what they can do and how I can use them to tell my story. I really love to use them in ways they're not supposed to be used and for things they're not supposed to be used for.
I love the title of these. I'm a homesick for a planet I've never been to. So what do you mean by that?
It's a recurring dream. I've had it since Chris died. It's for me like a Google map with directions to where he is now and how to find him. I fly through the stars, and when I arrive there is this beautiful planet with 2 stars going around it. But I never see the whole of them, so I've been sketching them bit by bit until I could make the whole thing. Out of curiosity, babe, do you prefer the sculptures or the photographs?
I love the sculptures, but I do think I prefer the photographs. I can't explain why, but yeah, it's just, my thing really.
I'm really interested that you said that, darling. What about the mini me dolls? I made them to use as models for photographs. You've got the emotion from them, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the most emotive pieces is your table. I instantly got it. You've removed the protection and stability, and it's old, and wrinkly, and beautiful. A bit like you, sweetie. I love this.
But you know me really well, so it's all very obvious to you. Do you think it speaks without knowing me personally? I really try to make art as a form of communication. I want to share it to make the viewer feel something, just anything.
Yeah, my favourite work is your series of computational photographs as I studied photography. So it had a particular appeal to me. I like the fact that it's a series, I like the colour, the movement. It seems like a moment in time you caught with all the different colours. How are you going to exhibit it? I'd like to see it sort of projected or printed. I'd love to see that next part of your journey.
I'm really happy that you like these photographs, especially with your background in photography. What I'm doing here is exploring the use of algorithms on smartphone cameras. There's very many aspects to this that I'm really enjoying. I love that they are emotional, relational and political all at the same time. It's definitely a work in progress.
Berserk and they don't get help, they don't get fed, and they sleep in sheds and they wind up dead. And we buy the things that cause the death. We can't blow life but still we take breath. What's the point when I bring you down? Are you supposed to swim and still let them drown? No, I say no, I won't blow it for someone I don't know, cause I do know. So reason things and try and work it out. About time to climb, about time to doubt. All the busy banks, the stocks and shares, all dealing death, third world warfare. Beat your neighbour, get the flavour. It's too cheap cause it's slave labour. We didn't mean to do it, no way. We didn't mean to do it now. We didn't mean to do it. A really rich Rockefeller in a Brazilian favela, on a TV show, letting everybody know he's got all the bloody dough. He spend it on toys, and our Brazilian street kids ain't making no noise. Now the death squad come, making everybody run, and the rich man pays.